I am here at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary in Miami, Florida, the USA, and I'm so excited to show you our friends today. These are Galapagos tortoises, and they are here at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary. And so the saying goes that all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. So the Galapagos tortoises are turtles, but more specifically, they're tortoises that live on land. And so that's what tortoises mean. Galapagos tortoises are the largest tortoise species on Earth, and they're only from the Galapagos Islands. There are a few other species of giant tortoises, like the Aldabra tortoise, and we do have one Aldabra tortoise here. They're a very similar animal, but they are a different species, and the way you can tell an Aldabra giant tortoise from a Galapagos giant tortoise is by a scute, which is a little piece of their shell. The Aldabra tortoises have one right in the middle, and the Galapagos tortoises do not. So that is a subtle way that you can tell the differences between a giant Aldabra tortoise and a giant Galapagos tortoise, but they're a very similar animal. They're both amazing animals, and again, quite similar. They are both a very large species of tortoise. The Aldabras are just behind the Galapagos tortoises in size and age. These tortoises here are at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary, and we are a private conservatory located in Miami, Florida, in the USA. And these tortoises are born and raised in captivity. And so we are a private zoo that specializes in the conservation of Galapagos tortoises. We have 10 Galapagos tortoises here, both male and female, that are reproductive ages. I do have some information on them here for you. Spike is our largest male. He is 45 years old. Spike here is our largest male. He's about 45 years old and easily 500 pounds, maybe more by now. We have Junior here, who's also about 42 years old. He weighs around 490 pounds. We have Coffee, who's our third male here. He's the youngest, who's 15 years old, and he weighs about 230 pounds. Our oldest female is Raisin, who's about 67 years old and weighs around 360 pounds. Here we have Tiny, who's about 25 years old. You see her with Spike right there. Weighs around 190 pounds. These tortoises are here at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary. These animals are born and raised in captivity to serve as a part of our assurance colonies for Galapagos tortoises. And assurance colonies are very important for the conservation of animals that are endangered. So these animals are born and raised so that they can create more of these critically endangered animals and put more on the planet. So zoos are a wonderful thing that we love to be a part of. Another female that we have here is Isabella. She's about 30 years old, weighing around 240 pounds. We also have DC, who's another female. She's around 30 years old as well, weighing around 250 pounds. We also have Alberta, who's another female, around 32 years old, and she weighs about 260 pounds. We also have Lauderdale, who's also around 30 years old, weighing close to 250 pounds. And finally, we have Miami, who's around 27 years old and weighing about 245 pounds. And that is an estimate for her. Spike is the dad of many of the babies that are produced here at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary, and he does such a great job for the conservation of his species. At one point in time in the Galapagos Islands, there was hundreds of thousands of these giant tortoises. Their species was almost wiped out by poaching. Pirates would take the tortoises from the islands, they would eat them, they would throw them overboard, and so some subspecies were lost. So these tortoises at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary are quite spoiled. They get tons of enrichment that includes things like toys, mud baths, scratches, interactions with people and other tortoises. They get 24/7 care. They're always being monitored. They get the top veterinary care, a variety diet every day. They never have to worry about any of those things. They spend their days lounging around in mud, they get sprayed down with the hose, they chew on hay or trees or other yummy treats like cactus, and they really seem to love it here just as much as we love them. One way that you could help the Galapagos tortoises is to spread awareness of zoos and how important they are for the conservation of endangered animals. Without zoos, animals like the Galapagos tortoises would go extinct in the wild so quickly. Captivity is the #1 savior for our wildlife, especially those that are critically endangered like the Galapagos tortoises. We have something that's called assurance colonies, and this is so that even if the animals go extinct in the wild, we have groups of them in captivity that we can breed and care for and study so that they're not gone forever. Because remember, extinction is forever. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about captivity and why zoos are so important. And at 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary, we are a private conservatory focusing on the conservation of Galapagos tortoises. So we care for, monitor daily, study, and captive breed these amazing animals and this critically endangered species. So here are some of the babies that have been produced by the adult pairs here, and I'm so excited to show you these because they're so cute and amazing and just everything you could ever imagine. So the color markers are just Sharpie pen, it doesn't harm them, and this is a way to keep records and indicates what bloodlines and what females and which hatchling they are so they don't get confused or mixed up. And so this is why I just want to share with you how important zoos are. Without zoos, many animals would already be extinct. And unfortunately, in our world, the wild is not safe for animals, especially those that are critically endangered, like the Galapagos tortoises. Captivity is not prison, it's protection for these animals, because without captivity, these animals would be gone in the blink of an eye because of criminals, natural disasters, or other events. 3J's Tortoise Sanctuary is an amazing place that's doing amazing work and is really leading the efforts of Galapagos tortoise conservation. I'm so privileged to be a part of it, to witness it, and to just see it happening in my lifetime. Thank you so much, 3Js. I love you guys so much, and I could never, ever, ever repay you for what you've put to my life and what you've given and what you've just done for me and for my life because of what you're doing for the world. So thank you so much, and I love you guys. This was so fun.